has it been so difficult to create lately? If you are someone who gets overwhelmed by how big your goals feel, or you feel like you don't know enough, or you just get so overloaded with information that it paralyzes you and it stops you before you start, or you just keep comparing yourself to everyone else and their journeys and feeling like where you're at right now is not good enough, just breathe. This episode is for you. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Notes to Self podcast, where I am taking you on a journey to the floor, my bedroom floor, and we're gonna get a little bit more close up, a little bit more intimate, you know what I mean? But no, seriously, I feel like a lot of podcasts are filmed in the same setup, same location, same everything, and I just feel like doing something a little different. We're just gonna sit on my floor, have a little good chat. I want it to feel like you're my best friend and we're just hanging out, and this is going to be just as much your pep talk as it is mine. You know, I feel like a lot of my podcasts, if not all of my podcast episodes, feature a version of myself that seems more eloquent, more put together, just very formal in a sense, and I just want to interject more of my personality, because although that version is one side of me that does exist, there is this other version that is just a little bit more silly, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more chill, a little bit more playful occasionally, and I feel like that's the side that I would like to bring out more in my podcast, and today that's what you're gonna get. So, you know, deal with it. This is my world and you're just living in it, buddy. Regardless of whatever version you guys are going to receive from me today, it doesn't change the purpose of each episode, which is for me to leave you guys feeling a little bit more emotionally aware and also empowered to handle whatever is currently going on for you in your life that might pertain to this episode. So this topic that we're going to talk about is brought to you by actually the episode that I put out the other day, which I have to admit, not my best thing that I have ever put out there. Honestly, I don't know why I feel a certain way about it, but just after I put it out, I wasn't the most happy, I wasn't the most proud of it, and I actually wanted to take it down and hide it away from the world, even though I did put work and effort into producing that episode. I would be lying if I said that my goal was not to grow on this platform in some sense, and for me to take that episode down or not to put it out is actually hindering me from getting closer to my goal. With whatever goal that you may have, whether that is optimizing your fitness, optimizing your nutrition, your sleep, or building your business, growing on social media, the gap between what you actually want and where you are is some form of dedicated action. And imperfect action is the name of the game. Listen, if you're chasing anything, whether that is your dream body, your dream job, your dream business, or your dream life, you're not gonna get anywhere just by thinking about it or not showing up or not putting some sort of effort towards it, because you actually need to do something in order to get there. Even if that something looks so messy, even if you look back on it later and think, oof, that wasn't my best, messy action still moves the needle. I've been trying to think about it like buying lottery tickets for your goals, and this is actually a concept that I heard through Vanessa Lau first, so credits to her. Every time that you take some form of dedicated imperfect action, it's like, boom, ticket. Post the podcast episode that I wasn't necessarily the most proud of, ticket. Do a workout in the evening even though you're super tired, ticket. Write the first messy draft of your business plan, ticket. You actually don't know which ticket is going to be the winning one, but I can assure you that the person with 500 messy entries is going to have a way better shot than the person with one perfect entry. And here's the thing, the more that you try, the faster that you learn, because imperfect action is feedback. It gives you real data and you find out the things that works, the things that don't, what feels good, and what you never want to do again. And perfect action just doesn't teach you that, because perfect action is just a theory, and imperfect action is the reality. I mean, think about going to the gym, for example, and if you have body goals that you want to reach. If you only worked out every time that you had the perfect energy levels, the perfect matching set, the perfect structured program, how many times a year do you actually think that you would show up? Twice? Maybe? And I mean, don't get me wrong, those 2 workouts that you would have would be immaculate, but the results that you would get would be absolute trash. Let me give you an example, because I actually have a friend who is scared of going to the gym and scared of working out in general right now. Not because she doesn't want to get stronger, but because the whole thing overall just feels very daunting and intimidating to her. And maybe you guys share similar reasons as to why that is. Maybe you guys don't. For you, it could be the people, it could be learning new machines, it could be the fear of looking stupid or new. What imperfect action would look like for her is to think, okay, I'm not ready to go to the gym and have a full workout yet, or have a full workout in general, but what can I do today that is going to move me closer? And that might mean doing 10 body weight squats in her bedroom in the morning, or maybe it's going on a 15-minute walk, or that could be literally just driving to the gym, walking in, doing one single exercise, and then walking out. Even if she just showed up to the parking lot and sat in her car, that is still one extra lottery ticket compared to sitting at home just thinking about it. The imperfect action of even just getting there and putting herself in that environment still counts towards something, because some action is better than no action. Period. Even if the rest of your life feels chaotic, even if you don't have the perfect plan, the perfect time, the perfect outfit, if you can find one small thing that you can do today and you do it consistently, those small imperfect actions will begin to stack up. And over time, when you do it consistently, you'll begin to realize that you're not where you were before. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be is bridged by steps, not by leaps. And some steps are going to be big and exciting, and then other ones are going to be tiny and awkward. But regardless of whatever kind of step you're taking, everyone moves you forward. And this isn't just about fitness. This can apply to every other area of your life. And this is how I'm trying to think about it when it comes to myself and social media growth, because I am still fighting the perfectionist that wants every post to be perfect before I let it exist out in the world. Just like my podcast episode the other day that I released that I wanted to take down and hide away. I wanted it to meet a certain level of standard just to even let it exist out there. But here's the thing, the posts that I actually overthought for hours and hours didn't perform any better than the posts that took me 10 minutes to create. And some of those shorter posts that I didn't even give a second thought actually performed better than the ones that I did overthink. Some of my most imperfect posts are the ones that have gotten the most reach. Why? Because they existed. They were in the game. Every piece of content that's put out is another lottery ticket entry that gives another chance for someone new to find you. And honestly, I feel like this is the part that nobody actually tells you, is the more messy and imperfect action that you take, the more clarity that you actually get. Like, you stop feeling so overwhelmed because you actually start seeing what the next step looks like. And this is true if we're talking about business, about content, or about fitness. Same thing with building a business, okay? You can't make a sale on a product that you've never launched. You can't get feedback on an idea that only exists in your head. And you can't improve a service that you haven't even actually offered. The people who are the most successful in business aren't the ones who are always the most talented or the ones who are the most prepared. They're the ones who kept buying tickets, the ones who kept trying, kept adjusting, and then kept trying again. And here's why that matters for that big scary goal that you're staring at. When you're overwhelmed, it's usually because that thing feels so massive that you don't even know where to start. Imperfect, dedicated action actually shrinks it. It forces you to take one step further instead of just staring at the mountain. Every step that you take, even the wobbly ones, gives you more clarity. Clarity on where to go next, clarity on what you can stop worrying about, clarity on what actually matters. Because the sneaky little secret is, clarity doesn't come from thinking harder about your goals. It comes from actually moving towards it. Even if it's messy, even if you feel unsure, it's like that you're trying to navigate in the dark and the lights don't actually turn on and stay on until you keep taking another step forward. Instead of obsessing about how you're going to get all the way to the finish line, ask yourself, what is one imperfect, dedicated action that I can take today that is going to make the next step clear? That's it. One action, and then let that action teach you what comes next. So here's my challenge to you today. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Honestly, if you're gonna wait and continue to wait for the perfect moment, you're gonna be waiting until the sun burns out. And by then, the only thing that we're gonna be chasing is oxygen. Pick one imperfect action that you can do today, post a thing, make the call, send the email, go for a walk, record the video, put the offer out there. It doesn't matter if it's a little rough around the edges. You can polish it as you go. Think about it like serving cookies straight out of the oven. They're a little bit messy, they're a little uneven, maybe one is shaped like Australia, but they're delicious and people are gonna want them because at the end of the day, imperfect action done consistently will outpace perfect action that never happens every single time. All right, bestie, that was your pep talk on my bedroom floor. I hope that you're feeling a little bit more fired up, a little bit more ready to make your goals feel smaller by taking that one imperfect, dedicated action. And if you do, I want to hear about it. So send me a DM, tag me in your story, and let me know what your imperfect, dedicated action was for today so that we can celebrate it together. Now, go buy some lottery tickets for your dreams. I mean figuratively, not literally. I'm not responsible for your trip to the gas station, but hey, if you do win the lottery, I think I deserve a little thank you card, maybe even a little snack, if you were so gracious enough. But that's it for today's episode of the Notes to Self podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow the podcast by either following it on Spotify or subscribing to the YouTube channel here. Make sure to leave a review or a comment as well if you could be so kind, because, I give value and then you give me some value back. It's called reciprocity. Share this with a friend who's feeling overwhelmed and needs a reminder that even messy action is still powerful. And remember, your goals don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be present. If you guys like all things self-development, self-discovery, mindset, I have my full playlist of other podcast episodes that you can jump into. And if you want to see more of me, I'm thinking about doing maybe some vlog style content. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. And I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.